welcome back. I am Brielle, and today I want to talk about my Coleus plants. Kind of see it here. Got another one behind me. First, let me say it's been a while. Sorry about that. It's just been an adjustment period. I can call it an adjustment period. So many things. Been very busy, and I've been waiting for this day to make another YouTube video. So I'm excited to be here. Just wanted to say thanks for watching. So let's get into it. I wanted to talk about my Coleus plants again. I did make a previous video. It was a while back, so this is kind of like an updated Coleus Care video. But I also have been getting a lot of questions about my Coleus plants. In this video, I want to go over a couple different topics about the Coleus plant. I want to go over its care requirements, how to take care of it in the summertime versus wintertime, how I like to fertilize these plants, how I prune or pinch the plants to help them grow thicker, and at the very end, I want to show you how to make a Coleus tree. Okay, so I'll start off with its care requirements. As an indoor plant, it can last all year long versus it being outdoors. When they're outdoors, they're more like annual plants because they do not survive in the wintertime. But if they are indoor plants, they will last all year long. These Coleus plants come in so many different varieties, different colors. They're so strikingly beautiful. I have grown to be very obsessed with them, and they're just so easy. They're easy to care for, they're easy to propagate, they're easy. So yeah, let's get into it. So as an indoor plant during the spring, summer months, it's going to grow very fast, and the soil will also dry out a lot faster because of the heat and the sun, and so that soil is going to dry up. What I like about these plants is that once they need water, they will tell you. Their foliage will start to droop and wilt, and then just put some water and it's gonna perk right back up. So that's one of the number one things that I love about this plant, is that it will tell you when it's thirsty. During the spring and summer months, I also make sure to fertilize. They already grow pretty fast, so I don't do it for growth necessarily. Just by having the sunlight and the water, it's going to grow pretty fast. But if you want the color to stay vibrant and the foliage to stay healthy, I would recommend fertilizing them during the growing season. So I usually use one of two fertilizers, earthworm castings, or I will use fish emulsion. I have realized that the Coleus plant loves fish emulsion way more than earthworm castings. So with fish emulsion, it's a little tricky because it smells, but just think of how much your plants are gonna love it. When I do fertilize, I make sure to open all my windows because it just smells bad, it stinks. So I mix it in with the water, and I just go around and I water them. I let the water drain out through the bottom, or if I'm I try not to bottom water with fish emulsion because it smells so bad. I'm gonna move on to light. I would say Coleus plants thrive in full sun to partial shade. It is not a low light plant. So I would say if you have an east facing window, west facing window, or like the top two windows, that these plants will love. Yeah, they do better. They do better. I would even say they do better in like full sun. I only put some in partial shade if I absolutely have to, like if I have no space, or if my other light loving plants are in the window, but it's not like a snake plant. I wouldn't put it in like a room with one window that doesn't get any kind of direct sun on it at all. Yeah, I would say full sun, partial shade. Did I get light water? we're good with that. So for the winter months, I would say, because you know, you're not getting as much sun, so I would push all your coleus plants as close to the window as you possibly can. That's how I got through many winters with my coleus plants. I don't have to worry about temperature too much, just because we're indoors. It usually doesn't get too cold. But yeah, outdoor plants are not going to survive it. It's not going to happen, especially during the winter. If you live somewhere tropical or somewhere where it's usually hot all the time, even through the winter, they will be okay. So yeah, keep that in mind. It all depends on the inside of your house, where you live, all of those take into consideration. Here in San Francisco, it's good. Even in Daly City, where it's super cloudy all the time and cold, it still survived the winter. So for pruning, pruning is really important. Honestly, before, like when I first got into plants, I didn't really think it was like that important. It just wasn't a priority to me. Didn't think about it, nothing. And then, I don't know, one day I just was like, I want to try it because why not? So then I started pruning a lot of my plants and they grow thicker. Who would have known? Who would have known? So I started pruning a lot of my plants, and now I can't stop. Can't stop. Sometimes it hurts a little bit, but I know that it's going to be okay because the outcome of it is just mwah, beautiful. So with these, they call it pinching. And so pinching is super easy. You don't even need scissors. You just use your hands. So let's see. I'm going to take this out of its basket real quick. So for pinching, let's do this one. Can you see this one? You just get the top of the plant right here. There's like a little branch that connects to this branch. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Okay, so you would, yeah, grab right here. It's so hard to see. Right here it's attached, and then this is the little top part to it, and you're gonna just pinch that right off. Ta-da! I'll do it again. So let's do it on this one right here. See, this is the top, and this is underneath it, and you're just gonna pinch it off. Boom. And that is going to create fullness, thickness, which we want in our plants. We want that. We want them to be full and beautiful and amazing. When it comes to a full-on trim of these plants, the top leaves get really big, but if you look underneath in there, there's all these little leaves, and they usually stay small because the light can't get to them. So I like to do this mainly during the winter after the summer months have passed and it was thriving and just living its best life. I like to cut it and just cut off all this top foliage, and that gives it a chance for all that beautiful little baby leaves down there to get nice and big. Another reason why I like to cut them back is because that's a lot of energy for it to put out during the winter months. So I want to conserve that energy, and I want to cut it so it's not using so much of it during the winter months because there's not a lot of light, and I can't fertilize as much, so we want to conserve it. So before, I usually do it maybe somewhere, well, our weather is different. We have an Indian summer, so October is our warm months, which is when most people are going into fall and starting to prepare for winter. This is our summer. So I do it a little later. I think I do it like in December. I'll start cutting back all my plants. So yeah, once again, it all depends on where you live. But that is how you prune, and that is how you trim and pinch. Hopefully that helps. Let me know if you have any questions about that down in the comments. All right, next, I don't know if this is the moment you've all been waiting for, but I know I've been waiting for this moment. So I want to talk about how to turn your coleus, your bushy coleus like this, into a beautiful tree. I am so addicted to doing this, it's crazy. So it's really easy, honestly. At first, I did kind of mess up my first tree. I made it too top heavy and then it just kind of broke. So that was sad. And then my second tree, I must have cut somewhere weird because now the branches are all like wonky, but it's still beautiful. I still love her. I still have her. I'll insert a picture somewhere over here. But that is the biggest coleus tree I've ever had. And now I'm starting another coleus tree, and this is Coleus Inferno. You are so beautiful. But anyways, yes, it was really easy to achieve this, and I plan on showing you guys how to do it. Okay, so this is the fun part, but it's also the hard part because I'm gonna try to do it in here. Like I said, my husband took over the living room. He's working from home, so I am going to try to achieve this right here. We'll see how that goes. Let's get into it. All right, so I'm gonna move you here. I got some all-purpose potting soil. Set this here, and then I also have some cuttings of one of my coleus tree. She needed a trim, so I gave her a trim. When I'm trimming back, I like to do like big branches because I know I'm gonna want to make more coleus trees. So when you're trimming, try to look for a long straight branch. Like this one was like, there's a lot of roots on here. But yeah, this one was just like sticking out of the tree like this. So try to get one as straight as possible because that's gonna help with it turning into a tree form. If it's already curved and wonky, it's just a lot more energy and you have to train it to grow straight, and it's a whole thing. I want to make this as easy as possible for you. So yeah, so I trimmed it, put it in water. It's been in water for a very long time, so it's ready to be put into some soil. There's two different methods, honestly. Sometimes I'll just get one branch like this, and I will pot that into the soil, or I get three, and I do a braiding method, and that's when I want it to look thicker, faster. It's just like a little cheat sheet almost. It's like a little trick. So it's all up to you. It's all up to you. But I think I'm going to I'll do the braided one. I won't do the braided one. I won't do the braided one because I'm used to doing just the single stem. It's just easier. The braided one also is easier when it didn't root out because you can braid it, tie it up, and then put it in water. This one, it's already rooted, so it's just going to be kind of difficult to braid them like that. So I'm going to just place it into the soil like so. Place the soil here. I'm so sorry, I hope you can see this. This is important stuff, and thanks to my husband. All right, so you have it in soil. It's in soil. So I like to kind of start the process, and so I'll just take off these bottom leaves. Just pinch them off, they come right off. Pinch, pinch, pinch. And I'll just leave the top part like this. So this is how you would start it. Just take off the bottom leaves. I like to kind of start with like a good amount. Like I said, I learned from my last, well, not my last tree, but my very first tree. And if you start to go too high up and there's a lot of stem, it's going to get top heavy and it's going to break. This one, for example, this other one I showed you, it's perfect because it's still little, and there's a good amount of, I call it a trunk now, but there's still a good amount to keep it nice and sturdy. Another thing, if you're curious, because I was like, how does a flimsy little stem like this hold up any weight? How? Because they're so fragile, they break easy. So over time, it starts to harden like a trunk. Literally, it starts to turn into a tree trunk. It's crazy. It just starts to harden and it looks like a tree. It's just, it's amazing. It's amazing, truly. But yeah, so this will harden over time, but until then, we want to be very careful about moving it, touching it, because it can break at its early stages. This one's kind of curved, so I'm gonna put a stick, just like a chopstick or some kind of stick, just to start training it to grow straight, and over time it will. I would say, since this is kind of like with any propagation, as for watering, since I just put it into soil, I want to keep the soil moist for at least a week, so it can acclimate to the soil. After a week, you can go back to watering it as usual, but at first you want to try to ease its way into the soil process. But honestly, that's really about it. I will, I will. I'll post some videos or content about this little beauty. I'll give you some updates on it just to see how it's going, how fast it grows. Yeah, I'm gonna place this in a nice sunny spot, and I just can't wait to share the process with you all. But this is it. This is it. It doesn't look like much right now, but I promise you, eventually it's gonna turn into this, or, well, and then eventually this is gonna turn into the bigger tree that I have. I hope all of this was helpful. Like I said, I get a lot of questions about my Coleus plants, and this is literally all I do. It gets easy. It may sound like a lot at first, or who knows, maybe to some of you it may not sound like that much at all. Either way, I hope it was helpful. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions down in the comments. I'd love to help out and answer any of them. Thanks for watching. It's been a long time, but thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.